Hello everyone, this is Henry, and the third place played our Win-A-Mat bracket at GameNation Cards and Games. Here's his deck profile.
Sweet. Yeah, so I came third out of 24 players and won nothing. But I did come third place, so we're going to do a deck profile anyways. I was playing Vayu Turbo. So, standard boys, Dark Armed, Gores, Double Caius, Chaos Sorcerer, the big bads of the deck. Then we've got our birdies, triple Sirocco, triple Vayu, and one Gale. This card's annoyingly good, both as like a value toolbox card and as a combo extender. So when you've got return games and you need to get a synchro going, you can get your Sirocco from your return back in grave to combo off harder, and also dealing with problem cards like Dark End Dragon and Stardust. Pretty solid. Then our warrior guys to dump things. We got 2 Grepher and 2 Armonite. And then the additional millers of Hamster and triple Raikou. And then the card trooper. I am on only 1 Hamster. So the thing about Hamster is I am someone who continuously draws multiple and bricks on things. Like today I opened Hamster, Raikou, Charge of the Light Brigade. And I think if it was double Hamster, Raikou, I would have been cooked. So in the main deck, I play the 1 Hamster, 3 Raikou, and 1 Charge. The general idea is Hamster's better going first, because it provides more value when you can set it up, and Charge is better going second, because it doesn't require setup and gets mills going. And I play the 1-1, because it's very versatile based on whether you're going first and second in game 1, and then you take out the one you don't need as you go on.
How many rounds today have you drawn Dark Arm Dragon?
I really didn't see it that much. I think I saw it twice one round, and it got dust shooted both times.
Damn. It'd be like that.
Yeah. So, and then the last 2 darks are Necro Gardener and Plague Spreader. This guy was glued to my hand, a little to my detriment. I think several games would have gone differently if this had been in the deck that I could have sent with Armonite, or if it had been a different dark for Grepher to get more aggressive.
Yeah, it seems solid. Makes sense.
Then for the spells, the aforementioned Charge, Rhoda, Allure, Burial, Heavy, Rain, MST. Not much to say about each of these cards. They're all pretty standard. Like I said, the Charge is in there to be more versatile in game 1, whether you're going first or second, and everything else is pretty much standard across the other Vayu lists. Then for the traps, we've got Solemn Judgment, Mirror Force, Torrential, Dust Shoot, 1 Oppression. So I play 1 Oppression in the main deck. It comes up a lot, even in matchups where you would think Oppression is bad because those decks side Oppression. So against Blackwings or Vayu Turbo, at least game 1, you can use Oppression to stop Plague Spreader plays or dropping a Dark Arm or dropping a Chaos Sorcerer. And against Blackwings, when they try to go for their Blizzard Synchro plays, this is usually an edge you can have against these. The 1 Return, obviously, and then the 1 Icarus attack.
Talk about this.
So, I don't play deck Devi in the main, and the reason why is I feel it's too much of a gamble as to whether it's going to work for me. First being the matchup. So there are a lot of matchups where deck Devi doesn't put in enough work, and even though you get the hand knowledge from it, those decks are able to play through regardless of what you know about their hand. And you're sacrificing a lot of resources to get deck Devi going. So if you're not getting the value off of it, I don't find it worth it. I think Icarus attack is so much better for several reasons. So one is, if you're playing against frogs, Icarus attack helps you break the board more than deck Devi would. So deck Devi can get rid of all the frogs, but if they got established heroes or monarchs or anything, Icarus attack allows you to break into that. And similarly, in other cases, it allows you to convert your little guys. So if you draw a Vayu, usually that's pretty bad if you don't have a Grepher to go with it, but Icarus attack allows you to set your Vayu and get a heck ton more value out of it, because you're trading your little guys for their big guys or their back row, and you can use the Vayu later. So this is pretty crazy.
Were your opponents surprised to see you have Icarus in the main deck?
I don't know. I didn't ask them. And then the last 2 would be 2 Bottomless and 2 Deep Prison. Both are pretty solid and work pretty well. Deep Prison, comes out sometimes, especially in decks that are bad at targeting, like we have Amaryllis players and Lightsworn players, but Bottomless is usually pretty solid most of the time against everything, especially at our locals where there's tons of Blackwings, like being able to stop Whirlwind and then using your other tools to get rid of their back row allows you to push back quite successfully.
40 cards, 41?
41 cards.
Nice.
Then we'll go on to the extra deck. So, one Chimera Tech, played 2 Machina players today, came in clutch a lot.
Nice.
2 Armed Wing, 2 Armor Master, 1 Silverwind. There were a couple of times today where the 3rd Armed Wing would have been nice, specifically to do more synchro plays, but I was able to play out of it either way. So, I probably wouldn't add in the 3rd Armed Wing, but I can see much more the use case for it. And then we've got Armory Arm, Cataster, Goyo, Bryanak, Black Rose, and then Stardust, Dark End, Thought Ruler, Colossal Fighter. Colossal Fighter, I think, is the one that comes up the least. Like Stardust for pushing through all sorts of situations, like if you're worried about destruction. Dark End probably comes up the most with your Gale Sirocco plays or your Plague Armed Wing plays, because removing opponents' threats without destruction is really important. And Thought Ruler for pushing through the targeting back row, like Deep Prison that you know about, or also getting you back in the game by life points.
After today's bracket, are you going 3 Arm Wing or 2?
No, I'm sticking with 2 Armed Wing. Like I said, so the situations where I would have used the 3rd Armed Wing, I was able to play out of it other ways. It's just, it would have made life a little bit easier, being able to do Armed Wing plays better plays.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
And then 1 Gorz token.
He does play Gorz.
And then for the side deck, we've got 1 Cyber Dragon, 1 Kaiku, 2 Fossil Dyna, and 1 Crow. With the 1 Cyber Dragon, 1 Kaiku, 1 Crow, a lot of the cards that I side in are really bad when you draw them in multiples. And I am the person who draws multiples very consistently. So when I have 2 Cyber Dragons, I would much rather have Cyber Dragon and something else to pair with it. When I have 2 Kaikus, I'd much rather have 1 Kaiku and something to go with it. And same thing with the DD Crow. I'd much rather have 1 Crow and something to go with it. So for that reason, I would not go to 2 Cyber Dragons, I would not go to 2 Kaikus, and I wouldn't go to 2 Crows. The one thing I would say is about playing 2 Fossil Dyna. Against the frogs, you really need to be able to stop them in their tracks. And Fossil Dyna has 2 modes of operation that are both very useful, especially when paired with the other side deck cards. So being able to summon it and stop them from going Battle Fader or Gorz or their Treeborn to do certain plays is invaluable. And on top of that, being able to set it, if you have like a Pulling the Rug or a Mask of Restrict as well, and flipping it up to pop their board of like Dupe Block plus Heroes is also really important. So Fossil Dyna, I think, as a 2-of is really required, especially in this deck where the Dupe Block really stops you a lot if you don't have the ways to out it. So being able to deal with that is quite important. The only spell I play in the side deck is Mind Control. This is for other Hamster Raikou Kaius decks, basically just being able to outvalue them by getting my own Raikou or popping their stuff.
Yeah, extra value in your deck because you do play Raikou.
Yeah. Then the other oppression is in the side. This came in clutch against Machina and Lightsworn today. I didn't see it too much where I was able to stop their crazy combo plays, but at key points in time it shut down a big threat that was coming, which was quite important. Then 2 deck debuts in the side. I pretty much only use these for frogs. I might consider it for quick draw or a couple others. I know a lot of people play it in the main deck. Like I said before, I really don't like the RNG of deck dev, where I'm giving away 2 of my resources and I might not hit anything in your deck. Or a lot of times I've been deck debuted and it's helped me because I've gotten a Plague or a Vayu or something in the grave. And I really don't want that to happen. I want to remove the RNG from the situation as much as possible. So I wouldn't side it in the mirror match. I wouldn't side it in against Blackwing or anything else. Only things where I'm pretty sure that I'm basically able to shut them down by using this card, and that getting a look at their hand will give me enough information to push through. So that basically just happens just with frogs, where I'm able to establish this early, make sure they aren't able to get their frogs going, and then I know all of the monarchs and heroes and miracle fusions they have, and I'm able to play around it effectively. Then to Rug, I prefer Rug over Massive Restrict because Massive Restrict is very preemptive. You have to get it going before they're able to do something, and once they remove it, they're able to keep going regardless. With Pulling the Rug, you're able to set it and effectively bluff. So if you have other cards, you can bluff that you've got Pulling the Rug, and they may or may not run into it. I mean, Unifrog is a thing that has potential to happen. But it's important to be able to play around Unifrog yourself, so not like setting it when you have something established, possibly like a Fossil Dyna, so they can't so they can't special summon to do their plays, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Rug's really strong. Also, Debris Dragon, Machina Gear Frame.
Yeah,
more than just Swap Rug.
I wouldn't side Rug in against Machinas because if they don't hit a Gear Frame, it's a dead card. And really the only card they play in there that this provides value for is Gear Frame. If they're playing a Gadget deck, then this hits Gear Frame and Gadget, so it's pretty good. Same thing with Debris. So with Debris, depending on the build they're running, if they're playing the 3 Kais, 3 Debris build, then there's a decent number of targets. Yes. But usually I'd rather have Deck Devi in that situation to get rid of the Debris regardless. And against the Kais, you're really trying to prevent them from establishing Kais either way. Then we have 3 Dust Tornado to hit...
Oh, 3 Dust Tornado.
Yeah. Basically, I want to make sure that if I'm able to go, that I can prevent Black Wings from getting Black Whirlwind and setting up. Especially because they have this new technique of going Sirocco Bora and hitting over my little Raikos and dealing massive damage. So any edge I can get in that way. So the main thing about Blackwings is they're very consistently able to out-advantage you if they get Black Whirlwind. A lot of the removal you have in your deck is 1-for-1, except for basically the bombs. So, like, Deep Prison, if they're able to establish Whirlwind, Deep Prison doesn't do anything. Bottomless slows them down, but only for a turn. Even the Raikos that you've got, they're 1-for-1 removal. So you have to be able to pick and choose. So being able to get the Dust Tornado down early so that you can wipe out their Whirlwind and play a more grindy, fair matchup is very important because that's mostly how the deck wins. And then the last card in the side deck is Starlight Road, also for Blackwings and also for Light Sworns and their variants. This one's kind of hit or miss. I've drawn it a couple of times in those matchups, and it's been so-so. I didn't really see it today against anything that was important, so I won't comment on it, but I like having it in here because it makes the hands where you draw a lot of traps a little bit more effective, because you can basically set 5 and intimidate your opponent. And then on top of that, being able to play it against the Light Sworn decks really allows you to keep playing in the later game, because a lot of your stuff, a lot of the cards you have don't really stop Judgment Dragon Priority, blow everything up, or Black Rose Dragon blow everything up. So like Deep Prisons, Bottomlesses, etc. The oppressions you have can stop them, and you might be able to play around it better by using Kaikus to banish their things. But this really is kind of like the third oppression in a sense. Is it basically prevents them from using their Judgment Dragon to swing things in their favor. And that's it.
Did you side deck every card today? Did anything not get sided in?
I did not side in Rugs at all because I didn't play any Frogs. I didn't side in Deck Devi because I didn't see
frogs.
anything that it would have been useful against. And I didn't side in
No
Fossil
frogs.
Dyna because no Frogs.
Everything else went in, eh?
Yep, everything else went in.
Nice. Good job, Henry. 3rd place today. Hard bracket. I know, I got 2nd. Congrats, Jimmy, on 1st place. Any last words, Henry?
I guess I'll do shout-outs. Shout-out to GameNation, who's been running Edison events for over a year now. Shout-out to the Toronto Edison Discord that's been slowly growing. We've got over 150 people in there now who keep coming out to events. Shout-out to Ryan Lightman, my remote dual playtest buddy.
Let's go.
Teaching me the ins and outs of the Blackwing matchup, and then when I show up, I still get blasted by Blackwings, so...
Today was Jimmy, not me. We didn't play today in bracket today.
Shout out to a bunch of the other people in the Discord, all of the admins in the Discord that help keep things running. Shout out to Kelvin and Steven, our shiny card suppliers. Shout out to the Team Blackwing people, who also give me ins and outs of the Blackwing deck that I do not use effectively at all. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.